Schrade Quick Tips. Sharpen your skills.
In this Schrade Quick Tip video, we're going to show you 7 keys to selecting a tough survival knife that you can depend on in a crisis. Along the way, we'll share some expert tips to help in choosing one of these rugged tools. A survival knife you can count on when the chips are down.
Want to be prepared for a survival or emergency situation? Well, just about everyone knows that having a good survival knife in your kit is one of the most important preparations you can make. But what makes for a good survival knife? And how do you make sure you aren't stuck with a dud on doomsday? No worries. As always, we're here to help. First, a survival knife should be a rugged utility tool, capable of being used for cutting, chopping, batoning, and breaking things with its pommel. In short, a top-notch survival knife has to be tough enough to take on the unexpected and handle some abuse. So for a tool this tough, you will need a knife that is full Tang in design, like our Schrade Extreme Survival Knife SCHF9, SCHF13, SCHF27, and SCHF36. Full Tang simply means that the blade steel runs the full length of the knife, from the tip, through the handle, clear to the butt end of the tool. Full Tang is the strongest survival knife design, free of any joints, pins, or moving parts to break. So for your primary survival blade, only a full Tang knife will do. No matter how tough the pivot pin or locking mechanism, a folding knife will never approach the strength of a similarly sized full Tang blade. However, folding knives like our SCH501, SCH104L, and our SCH303 do make great secondary or backup knives to your primary survival blade, especially in situations where a large blade may draw unwanted attention. Most people figure that a survival knife has to be big. So, how big is big enough, and how small is too small? On the smaller end, a knife with a 4 to 5 inch blade, like our 4-inch SCHF13 or our 5-inch SCHF36, are going to be handy to wear for everyday carry, easy to conceal, and good at fine detail work. Blades between 5 and 7 inches, like our Schrade SCHF26, SCHF38, SCHF27, and our Extreme Survival Knife SCHF9 are all capable of a wide range of tough utility, survival, and bushcraft tasks, like chopping and batoning, while still performing well at finer, more detailed work. Many survival and bushcraft knives, like our Schrade SCHF9, SCHF36, and SCHF37, have a blade choil that allows you to choke up on the blade for the increased leverage and control needed for finer work. Just make sure you always wear leather gloves and exercise extreme care when handling a knife with your finger in the choil. In a survival situation, or even while setting up camp in the wilderness, you may need to handle your knife for hours at a time. So you need a knife with a handle that fits comfortably in your palm and helps you keep a sure grip in all weather conditions. Handles that are slightly curved on the spine side and have finger cutouts on the bottom side, like our SCHF36, tend to feel comfortably at home in your hand. Although there are many materials like micarta, G10, and even textured metal, it's hard to beat the shock-absorbing, rubberized comfort of a TPE grip. Textured TPE handles, like on our SCHF38, make for a soft, durable, and water-shedding handle that performs well in any weather. If the devil is in the details, then there is no more important detail than the steel that goes into forming the blade. Buy a knife with the wrong steel and you have scrap metal. Choose right and you end up with a great knife for life. There are 2 major types of steel used in quality survival knives: carbon, or tool steel, and high-carbon stainless steel. Both have their trade-offs. Many survivalists and bushcrafters love carbon steel. like the 1095 tool steel used in our Schrade SCHF 36, SCHF 37, SCHF 38, and SCHF 9, for its durability and because it can take and hold a keen edge in the field. The downside to carbon steel is that it can stain or rust easily if not coated properly and well cared for. Although high-carbon stainless steel can and will stain if exposed to moisture and sweat for an extended period, it resists rust much better than carbon steel due to the chromium that is added to the steel. High-quality 8CR13 Movi stainless steel, like that used in our SCHF 13, SCHF 9N, and SCHF 27, will ensure that you get a tough, edge-holding blade and a great knife that resists rust. Choose a knife able to survive the most brutal tasks you can throw at it, one with a tough tip, keen edge, and thick blade steel. For survival tasks that demand a tough tip, we recommend you grab a knife with a drop-point blade. Blade steel that drops from the spine to meet the edge and form the tip is considered a drop-point blade. Drop-point knives, like our Schrade Extreme Survival Knife SCHF 9, combine a drop point and thick, quarter-inch blade steel, forming a tip capable of a wide variety of tough utility tasks without breaking. In an extreme survival situation, a fire can make the difference between life and death. So when choosing a survival knife, take into consideration design elements that extend the knife's versatility. A knife with a sharp 90-degree spine can be used as a striker for a ferro rod. Our Schrade SCHF 36, SCHF 37, and SCHF 38 offer both a 90-degree spine and come with a ferro rod for fire-starting ability. A 90-degree spine can also be used as a scraper for collecting bark. Just hold the knife at an angle and drag it across the surface of the tree for easy-to-collect kindling in case you forget your fuel. There are two types of edges commonly found on survival knives: a full, fine edge and a partially serrated edge. And this is where the debate begins. Those who want to use their survival knife primarily for bushcraft and wilderness use generally prefer a full fine edge, as serrations tend to make doing the fine detail work more challenging. Serrations can dig in and chew up wood. However, for combat, tactical, and urban situations, some prefer a partially serrated edge because of its ability to slice through tough materials with less effort. Others like the fact that a serrated edge tends to stay sharp long after the fine edge of a knife dulls. So for general wilderness survival, camping, and bushcraft, you may want to consider a full, fine-edged blade like our SCHF 36. But for urban, tactical, and combat situations, a partially serrated blade like our SCHF 1 may be preferable. There you have it, 7 tips to help you select the most important tool for your kit, a dependable survival knife you can count on.
Schrade carries a variety of survival and everyday carry backup blades to serve your needs while going easy on your wallet. To check out our complete selection of survival knives, visit Schrade.com. But for now, don't forget to subscribe to this Schrade YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter for more knife survival, camping, and bushcraft tips to help you sharpen your skills. To discover more about the gear used in this video, check out the links in the video description on YouTube. Visit Schrade.com or take a trip to your local outdoor gear retailer.